Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and today we're going to talk about the Klein 7-in-1 nut driver with magnetic drivers, and it's model 32807 MAG. And before I introduce you to it, Klein has really kind of dialed in this handle, and it's a rubber coating or a rubber overmold that's or sleeve that fits onto their, I believe this is like an acetate, kind of a traditional screwdriver handle material. But in addition to dialing in that handle, they've also really, they're very comfortable with putting in some sort of a bit driving, flexible, or not flexible, but reversible shaft. And this shaft actually can have both bit driving and fastener, screwdriver capabilities. They've done it with their very small screwdrivers. I did a thing on the video on the Snap-on Precision. On this one, they actually make a bit holder that fits on the shaft, but then it's just a standard magnetic bit. This one here, they've got same size on both. But this is a bit driver, and this is a bit driver, so it has two more popular sizes, plus Torx, plus square, and a couple of fasteners, and the same handle. This one here, they've taken it up a little bit, so they've got a couple of different bit sizes here. Notice these are different sizes, so you can see that they've upped their game a little bit. Plus this one has tapping abilities, and I really like this. Just comes in super handy. But notice the handles are starting to get bigger as we move up until we get to this guy. And this is a ratcheting version with this interchangeable shaft, interchangeable bits. And then you can see these things are starting to get pretty big. Now, with bit drivers, there are about 7 common SAE sizes, and Klein makes the whole set, and they make them with like long and short shafts, again using their kind of traditional handle designs. These are Craftsman's. That's a popular, was a popular one. I don't know if people still have them. These always worked for me. You'll also notice there are holes in them, and that's so they can fit over taller or longer the bolts to screw the nuts down further, so you can have part of the shaft of the bolt up inside the driver here. A lot of times I just grab a socket. You can't get that extra unless you're using a deep well socket, but you can get all the sizes on a pretty good handle. But this is the one let's talk about. This monster here is the gigantic Klein Tools 7-in-1 magnetic nut driver, and this used to be big, or this one, the ratcheting one. But look at that; this is just dwarfed by this behemoth. So this thing uses their same gigantic handle, but on steroids. And then if you pull this out, and this is where I find I don't use this thing very much for this very reason. I've got this that contains, you can see there's 3/8 here, 5/16. They have magnets in them, most of them, 5 out of the 7, to hold bits, plus through holes, so you can get the bolt to stick through into the driver here. And then this pops out, and this pops out. So here we've got our 7/16, our 9/16, and then it's got this kind of a funny arrangement, which is the quarter that has to go in here this way, but then how does it all go back together? This one doesn't fit on anywhere, so I have to pop that out, and I think I don't know where this thing goes. Anyway, I basically am showing you why I have trouble with it, because if I pull something out to use, how do I get this whole thing back together? Maybe that's it. Anyway, and then this will fit back in. This here is, you'd hope it would be 1 inch, but it's not. It is, on the SAE side, about 1 1/16, maybe 1 1/32, but I don't have one of those. And I don't have a 27 millimeter wrench, but here's a 27 millimeter socket. You can see, and that fits on there. So if you had a 27 millimeter wrench or a 1 1/8 or 1 1/16, you could probably add some more leverage on the sides, or of course with an adjustable wrench, which is probably plenty, given that this is pretty light now that I've taken that out, and I'd probably break it. But anyway, I can't remember when I got it. It's not very expensive. They're like 30 bucks. Maybe even they're under. It comes in handy for some things. For a while I was doing a lot of work on washing machines and dishwashers and stuff, and they're basically just 2 sizes of nut drivers that hold a lot of sheet metal together. You know, and that's why I would go with just 2 standard ones. I do need long and short. But I thought this might be kind of fun, but then I'm always switching it around and trying to figure out how to keep it going. You know, if I'm operating this, which is, you know, the quarter, which is a popular size, what do you do with this? You know, there's nowhere for it to go, I guess. Can I just, hey, there we go. Maybe I figured it out right here on camera, but I can't attach it to anything, so it's certainly going to go flying. But anyway, I find it kind of humorous. It's just so big. They talk in the description about being able to get good torque on this because that's so massive. I mean, look at the size of that thing. This is 1 1/16 inch in diameter, so you can see this thing's, you know, probably 1.5 inches in diameter. Anyway, I like the Klein handles for what they are. I don't think they're the greatest, but they seem to really, you know, dial them in and keep going with them. But that's just massive for a tool. I mean, look at the size difference here between these similar handles. But anyway, it is an interesting tool. I guess if you don't have one, maybe it's worth getting, so you could have one tool that has all of the common nut driver sizes. There it is, 32807 MAG. And with that, Doc out.